So we're doing an oil pressure switch. This is a 2004, 5, 6, or 7 Ford pickup truck, and we're gonna do the oil pressure switch in it. So usually I don't take this apart, but I'm thinking it'll make. Usually I kind of have a fight with it, so we're going to find the best viewing angle. So we're just gonna, I'll just hold it. And it wouldn't be my video without a power tool. It's been a while. I don't think I've used one all day. So we're gonna get, let me turn you guys down a little bit. So I get this clamp off. If I'm not tightening it, we're gonna be loosening it today. Loosen that one. Then I'll take this one off. I hate these K&N intakes. And that nut is already half loose, which is pretty nice, I guess. Kind of how you look at it. There's a nut back here. You can see there's one right here, it's missing it. This one right here is actually tight. Doesn't look tight, but it is. So we're gonna have to give her the reach around. It's probably an 11. No, my luck. Let me go grab a big 11. I don't think it's a 10. Yeah. Now let's try this again. Felt tight. I would have recorded the reservoir, but someone else changed it. Okay. This truck's all funky. Put that aside. Move this. Okay, there's that. Okay, now we're gonna be focusing on this oil pressure switch. Hopefully. Let's see. I really can't see down there. Well, you can see it. So this is the oil pressure switch right here. I usually don't take this boot off. You can see it's full of oil. It's like they all are. But what I use this. This is a 27mm socket. You're supposed to pull the oil line that feeds the turbocharger off. I don't. I just do it this way. I find it easier because then you have to change the gasket and the O-rings, and they sell them in a kit, and you know. But if there's no need to, then I usually don't do it. And then you just loosen it up. Just grab it. There's the oil pressure switch. You can see it's all wet and juicy. So definitely a leak. This customer knows this thing's kind of. It might have leaks from the other side of from the sides of the engine, but this thing's such a mess that I told him he's gonna have to get it cleaned because we don't clean stuff here like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to tighten it by hand as much as I can. You always want to try to tighten them as much as you can by hand, because then it, you know, makes me, when I do it, it makes me feel better that I'm not stripping it out. Especially this is aluminum, the housing that it screws into. It's the oil cooler housing. You don't have to be crazy tight, just torque it to spec. I'm sure you guys heard the click in my elbow. And then you gotta pull this abomination out, just like that. Perfect. So this is what I use. It's an extension with an adapter with a 27mm. The socket's been cut. This is what we use for them. I don't know if we cut the socket for that, specifically for these. I'm not sure. It's my dad's, and we've been working on these since they came out. But that's what I've always used, and that socket works great. Try to put everything back nicely so it doesn't look like crap. Okay, the oil pressure switch is done down there. Now we're back on to getting this intake back on. So now I've kind of wedged that flashlight down here a little bit. point you guys down a little bit so you can see. And look at this. This is funny. That's not the right O-ring for this. Yeah, look how fat that is. It's supposed to be small. So let me go grab an O-ring for that. So that's what I put on there. That's, you want something thin, but still seals. It still seals, it's over the edge. So that's the way it should be. So let's go ahead and pop this back in. Let's get this trip done. And then over here, you see how it goes right there? You want to just twist it, pop it in. See, it pops right in like butter. And then you get these two. I'm giving them 2 new nuts. That's just not the way we do stuff here. You know, these aren't the perfect nuts, but they're not the wrong nuts. You know, so try to do stuff right. You know, we're not here to throw your stuff back together. Because if anyone else looks at it, and I was the last one in here, and they're like, "Oh, the gas guy didn't put these nuts back on, or strip this, or did something." And nope, we put that back together the right way. So now let's get the intake in. This beautiful K&N garbage. Intake. These are not good for these diesels. Do not recommend them. I've seen it so many times where they blow engines up. Not literally, but what they'll do is they'll suck dirt and fill the. What it'll actually do is sandblast the inside of the engine, and it destroys the engine. And it's not very fun, and it's very expensive. So I do not recommend these oil type filters. Just run a paper type. The factory air cleaner system in these trucks is actually really good, and that's the case for most diesels. You know, they're actually quite good. They have to be. They design them to be the most efficient. Okay. Now make sure you line these clamps up right. These K&N boots, they really suck. They like to fall off. They don't stay in place. I have customers come in, they always fall off. And we tell them it's just, you know, they want this garbage on it, so we leave it, you know. Can't tell them what to do. So we're done with that. Oil pressure switch is in. The customer's actually going to clean the engine and recheck it for leaks. I put the nut back in there. I'll let them know it's missing the clamp. I don't have any of these big giant clamps. I'll let them know about that though, and we'll see what happens.